Hey guys, we have got a good little different kind of video for you. I know our channel generally focuses more on family and patriarchy and all that kind of good stuff, but we've got a travel video for you. This is going to be a little bit of a discussion, I guess. Currently, we are in Brazil, right? And getting a chance to practice, or it's Kelly and I getting a chance to practice our Portuguese, and Lily getting a chance to practice her translation skills. We've got some funny stories here. We're coming back to that one for sure. But would love to tell you a little bit about what our experiences are here, some of the things that we've enjoyed, some of the places we've seen, some of the things we've done. Probably not the normal trip to Brazil, in that I think a lot of people, when they hear Brazil, they think about what?
Rio,
right?
Carnival.
Carnival. And that is not on the agenda. Rio's not on the agenda. We flew into Sao Paulo and immediately flew out of Sao Paulo into a much smaller region. So we are currently in Santa Catarina, which is one of the southernmost states in Brazil, with beautiful beaches, incredible mountains. We're going to talk about both here in a minute. This is your first time traveling into South America. Now, I lived in South America for 6 years in Colombia, but it was a long time ago, and I lived in the jungle, so a very different experience than here. But this is your first time in South America. What are some of your initial thoughts?
Beautiful.
Okay.
It's a beautiful country. I really didn't know what to expect. I really didn't. Lily can talk about it all the time, but until you actually see, a lot of people think poverty with Brazil, third world country. And we've driven through some areas that have been low income budget, but not have seen a whole lot of poverty, we've seen beautiful countrysides, beautiful mountains, beautiful beaches. Now, I'm not saying that there's not low budget,
Sure.
There is poverty.
But you can find that anywhere.
You can find that anywhere. We can go to New York City, we can go to California, but that's not what we were here for. We were here for, one, we came here to visit Lily's parents, and we met them, and we'll discuss that as we go along. And then we were here for our business that we have with Rafaela Booz and we'll discuss that as well. And then just to travel and see. But like Peter said, this is the first time for me being in South America, and I love it here. It's absolutely beautiful. It's winter time here right now, and that's weird. It's July, and back home it is 99, 100 degrees, and we're in the 50s, 40s, low 40s maybe
at night.
At night.
The daytime we're seeing the mid 60s. Although we've seen up into probably the low 80s. One of the days up at the sitio, it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It was very.
We actually went swimming in a small river, large creek waterfall that was remote, able to.
On a Shabbat.
Yep, found a place, a trail that we could hike to a falls, and so. And this is your first time back in a couple years.
Yes, sir.
Glad to be back.
Yes, it's nice to be here. And you only, at least in my case, and a lot of Brazilians can resonate with this. We get tired of Brazil, and then we all went out, But there are things that we only get to value when we don't have them, and then we
Right.
get here and it's like, wow, this is actually a quite nice country. And one thing that I was telling them is that in Brazil you realize that you don't need a lot to be happy, especially who live in the countryside. They're very simple people, but they make ends meet, and they have amazing wealth. It's just not the wealth that we know or that we are taught that it's wealth. And today I noticed this much more.
So when we first got here, we started off in the whole time we have been in Santa Catarina. We started off in Florianopolis, where we landed. Fantastic place. If you're looking for a great place to get bang for your buck, and just amazing beaches, amazing food, nice places to stay. Which, this region is an amazing place to be. And the first thing that we did was we went down to
Laguna.
we went through Laguna. We stopped to see your mother in Laguna, and then drove to an Airbnb that we had that had been arranged in Farol do Santa Marta.
Yes, sir.
And there's a famous lighthouse there. We spent probably 3 days there, and I think we paid about $45 a night.
It was 80 reais per person per day. So at the end was about 500 reais, less than 100.
It was $100.
Less than $100.
We were there 2 nights, 3
Yes,
days
sir.
and 2 nights. Was less than $100 for a 2-bedroom Airbnb. That, full kitchen, the whole 9 yards.
Beautiful view.
We could walk to a half a dozen restaurants, many of which were closed during the off season, but some of them were open. Had some, we cooked some of our own food, but also the couple times that we ate out, $50 would get you get the 3 of us an amazing set of plates, amazing food, drinks. Typically no tips. Tips are already worked into, or the way the pay scale works with the staffing is already taken care of. And
what we've learned is that in Brazil, lunch is the big meal of the day, and a lot of the restaurants close for dinner. And so
that point was driven home last night when we did not get a good lunch. We had a quick snack because we were going to a business meeting, and then we found the hotel that we were staying in and started looking for a restaurant, and everything in town was closed except for a hamburger stand on the square.
But the big meal of the day is lunch. And then you have basically a snack for your dinner. Because it makes sense. A lot of the things that we've learned being in this country, that life is simple here, and it's our life can be simple. Let's put it that way. And nobody's in a hurry. It's been absolutely amazing to see this and learn from it. And the question is, what can we take back from it and apply it to our own lives back in South Carolina?
In terms of nobody being in a hurry, it's kind of odd because the motorcyclists and the cars, a lot of them are in a hurry, but then wherever they get, everything slows down as soon as they get off. Life definitely being slower.
Yes, sir.
So we went from what was your favorite part of Farol do Santa Marta?
I think Farol de Santa Marta was a very relaxing first leg, and for me at least, it was my first opportunity to eat the fish, because I was talking about the tainha fish for so many months before the trip. So I can't wait. So yeah, for me it was basically to slow down and then walk around the beach. That day where the fog, just invaded the beach, and we managed to have some good pictures.
We took some amazing pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we went to the restaurant right afterwards, and that was quite a nice day. I think that was my favorite memory of that first leg.
Favorite memory from Farol do Santa Marta?
Just one?
Sure, why not?
Oh, that's difficult because, oh my gosh.
Walking out in the afternoon, we decided to walk out and take in a piece of beach in the afternoon, day 2, and
The sunset.
took a long walk on the beach to this big rock formation down on the end of that particular beach, and decided, let's climb it. About the time we got to the top was as the sun was starting to set, and we got some amazing pictures, and then came down and got some amazing pictures and walked back. It was almost dark when we got back. So we found this really cool rock outcrop along the beach. We are currently in Porto da... Onde estamos? Farol Santa Marta, which is on the coast of Brazil, south of Laguna, south of Florianopolis, and we got a couple days here. But the beach here is amazing, beautiful views and everything else. But I show you, I'm on top of a rock outcrop, and I'll show you kind of what you can see. Obviously, you can see some of this behind me, but I want to flip the camera around because from here we're high above everything around us. It's an amazing. It's a little climb up here. It's not bad, but I'm going to flip the camera around. Hope you don't get seasick. This is looking toward the west. And so there is, we'll have sunset here in a little while. And this is where we are atop these rocks, way down there. To give you an idea, elevation, that right there is, let's see, we'll zoom in here. That's a four-wheeler and a car down on the beach, to give you an idea of elevation here. But this is really cool. And we've got water almost all the way around us. I guess we're sort of jutting out. This is the ladies standing up on another rock down here. Yep. And then just, this is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Had a lot of fog earlier today, but no longer the case now. And we're out enjoying late afternoon sun, enjoying this. So anyway, I just wanted to show y'all, this is amazing, amazing stuff back behind us. Look at that. That's where we walked from, all the way down there at that place that juts out, probably about a mile away. And we'll walk back, just enjoying, getting, as Lily says, vitamin C. Right, there we go. All right, good stuff. Just sharing that with you. In fact, I think we got back just in time to run up to the lighthouse. Was it that night?
Yes.
Just in time to run up to the lighthouse and see things up around the lighthouse. And then we were back at the lighthouse the next morning to watch the sunrise from the lighthouse. And that was amazing.
So I'm just going to break it down. Those are motorcycles, by the way. Those are not, that is not shotguns. Would be the lighthouse and then the sunrise and sunsets, because we were so close to the beach. But yeah, those three. Because I've never seen a lighthouse that up close and personal. So being able to see that and how it works, and right there with the water and stuff like that. But then, yeah, the sunrise and sunsets.
From the back balcony of the house that we were staying in, we could see the lighthouse at night, and so we could, and with the fog coming in, it was pretty cool watching the lights come around and everything. That was kind of neat. So then we went from there. We stopped at an amazing restaurant called Geraldo's that's 70 years old. Restaurant's been there for 70 years. Sits on a waterway between the ocean and an inland area, and dolphins come in to fish. And it was interesting while we were there watching, sitting. It was a cooler day. We sat out on the deck. Later moved inside for dessert, but on the deck and had lunch and could see the dolphins playing. We're watching seagulls fight over fish that the fishermen were tossing out. It was quite entertaining, and that was a very nice, very upscale restaurant with
Very
a
relaxing.
long reputation. And again, I was sitting there thinking, how much is this going to be? And then the bill came, and I was like stunned, and just the dollar goes a long way here, no question. At this point, it was very nice. So we drove from there to the situ, the homestead that Lily owns, and it was a complete change of flora and fauna. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, and it was not a long drive. I think it was less than an hour. I mean, it was an hour because of the terrain that was a bit rough, because it's really in the middle of nowhere.
And the last half of that drive was on dirt roads. Yep.
Yes, sir. And this is something that we managed to notice as we drove around the state, that the landscape changed, like the plants, the birds, everything, and we didn't drive a long distance.
Dramatic changes. In fact, one of the cool things about the situ, and I'll jump in here, but
Yes, sir.
one of the things that I really like about the situ is it's the temperature and the soil and the amount of rain that it gets. Anything can grow. You think about planting something and it starts growing. It's kind of crazy, because there you have, I mean, how many different types of fruit trees plus
Coffee, the olive tree.
a couple varieties of coffee.
Yes, sir.
Olive
Two.
tree.
Yes.
Blueberries,
All
and
kinds of
raspberries.
oranges, other little fruits,
Bananas,
jabuticaba,
yeah.
bananas,
Papaya.
papaya,
lemons,
lemons,
limão.
and yuca,
Rosemary.
mandioca, rosemary,
Guanaba.
blueberries,
Guava. Guanaba.
guava, goiaba.
Goiaba.
blueberries.
Yes.
Blueberries,
Your
yes.
mom's got blueberries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's everything. That's
that's-
a lot.
small property that has a lot going on it. That was very cool. It was very encouraging to see how much can be grown in small spaces, particularly when the weather, winter doesn't see freezing. It gets cooler, a lot cooler, but it doesn't see freezing, and so things just kind of, they don't actually stop growing. They slow down a little bit and then pick right back up. Highlights there, we saw some toucans.
That was
Every
the
day
highlight.
we had toucans that would show up
Except Shabbat.
Shabbat's the only day they didn't show up, but they would show up. We saw up to 6 or 7 at one point, but there were usually 2 to 4 toucans that would show up. And next door was a guy that had a very nice farm with a lot of stuff growing. He had garlic and onions and lettuce and lots of other stuff that's seasonal for the cooler temperate time now. But he also had a huge tilapia farm, or tilapia pond, that we got to feed the tilapia, and he had some monstrous tilapia in there. Saw
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
And he started with 1,000 tilapia babies,
Mm-hmm.
and they grow.
Yeah.
You don't
Big tilapia.
Mm-hmm.
Big tilapia. Yep.
very easy. Seemed very easy.
While we were there, we walked around, explored a number of different roads. We took a trail back to a waterfall that's a campsite. We're thinking we're really remote, and we were, until we saw the sign on the post that says Wi-Fi this, and here's the password. And I thought,
There's
this is
Wi-Fi everywhere here.
a campground that's got a water faucet sticking up out of the ground, and a Wi-Fi on the pole, and it's you literally. I think you could drive in.
And of course,
You could drive close, but packing it in. So we used the Wi-Fi to check it and see if it worked in the middle of nowhere. That was hilarious. Then from there you took us into a completely different region. We went a little bit further west, but we had to go up what?
Serra do Rio do Rastro.
Serra do Rio.
Yeah, first we
do
stopped
Rastro.
at Tubarao. And then the
That's
next
right.
day we went to Serra do Rio do Rastro.
That's right. We spent one night in Tubarao. It was the first night that we stayed in a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And downtown San Silvestre Hotel
Mm-hmm.
in Tubarao. And one of the things that every hotel that we stayed in, we stayed in a couple different hotels. The cost for a night for a room that had two queens or a queen and a single, every place was about $80 a night, more or less.
Mm-hmm.
$3.95, $4.10 reais.
With breakfast.
With breakfast. Now breakfast isn't what you get at the Motel 6. And I'll have to put some pictures in here, but the spreads were a couple tables with cheeses and meats and eggs and cakes and breads, cereal and coffee and juice and fruit, lots of fruit, breads,
yogurt.
Reminded me a lot of some of the breakfasts that we saw in Israel when we've been to Israel multiple times, and some of the breakfasts are legendary at the hotels. And it was that way everywhere we went.
Mm-hmm.
And several times Lily's like, this isn't good enough. This isn't up to par. Other hotels do better. And I'm looking at it going,
she says it has to be because it's wintertime.
Must be because it's wintertime, yeah.
It is.
And I can believe that, because actually the tourist season, this is a fairly touristy area, and during the summer season it's much busier,
right,
attracting a lot of people from all over South America and Europe. So yeah.
Because when it's wintertime for everywhere else in the world, it's summertime here.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you enjoyed the coffee here?
I have. Yes, sir.
Coffee's much better than American coffee. Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I do want to make a comment on the restaurant, because we're on the subject of the breakfast and stuff. The one thing that Lily even mentioned this when we were at that restaurant watching the dolphins, that back in the United States, it's you sit down, you have a meal, and it's like, you're done, great, I need your table so I can get a next one. So it's like next. Here she made the comment that you could stay all day, not a problem whatsoever. It's you just enjoy your time here, and we'll feed you whatever, and then you can go on your way. It's
nobody's in a hurry to push you off the
nobody
table,
is in a hurry. Yes, sir. And
as long as you're drinking and you're ordering, they will let you sit there all day.
And she doesn't mean drinking like alcohol. We're not talking bar.
As long as you're consuming something, but you're obviously not eating entrees. And
yes,
where in the U.S. they're ready to get the next entree on the table, or get the next person so they can sell another entree.
Yes, sir.
Where here you could sit and just take your time with the drink and stretch it out for hours.
Have a meeting with a client or whatever, and have coffee, water, or they're not in any hurry to get you out so that they can have your seat warmer for somebody else. It's not like that here.
So we went up to
Serra do Rio do Rastro.
You have to say that slowly.
Serra.
Serra. Oh, Serra. Serra. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Serra do Rio do Rastro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Serra can mean saw blade.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But it also, in this case, is referring to the terrain that is this jagged. It's like a saw blade, headed up onto what's sort of like a mesa, a big or big plateau, and Marcos de Silva Booz said he described it as one of the most beautiful drives in all of South America.
Agree.
And the blue line on GPS looked like a 3-year-old drew it with a crayon, because it is.
You should put the picture up here.
I will. It looks like a scribble mark to get up there, and it was an amazing drive that took a couple hours. I drove that leg. There was an accident on the road somewhere in front of us where a truck got involved with something or other, and we got stuck sitting still for a little while. Wasn't a long wait.
No.
But it was interesting that, tow truck shows up way out in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing for miles and miles and miles. No filling stations, no nothing.
And everybody's just laid back, just sitting in their cars, just
hanging out.
waiting.
Yep.
It was nuts.
And so we got up to the top of that and took some pictures. Stopped at multiple different overlooks. That was a beautiful day. Hiked at one place. Hiked out to a couple overlooks when we got all the way up to the top. Stopped for. Did we have coffee? We had coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Picked up some snacks. We ate at a Brazilian barbecue, right? You see all those in the States, right? Brazilian barbecue, and they come to your table and they cut the meat. Here we would go to where the meat cutters were in front of the rotating meats, and they had lamb and beef and chicken
Hearts.
Chicken. What else did they have? I guess
All
they had
kinds
some
of
other
beef.
stuff.
Yeah, all kinds
Just-
of beef.
Oh,
Whatever you.
okay.
We don't do pork, but I think they had some of that too.
Oh, absolutely.
In between there, we did your dad's house.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, we
Tubarao,
mentioned that Tubarao where we stayed at the Hotel San Silvestre.
But you
Yeah.
didn't mention your
Well,
dad's house.
Now, what her father's house, beautiful place in Tubarao, had the typical Brazilian barbecue.
Mm.
In fact, we have found that every place has, or almost every place has, an outdoor kitchen, which is pretty cool, with a really neat built-in barbecue. And all of the barbecues work very much the same. It's not like the broad variety you see in the U.S., but I think the way it's designed, it's more useful and more controllable. I'm thinking we're going to be building one. Got to rework our outdoor kitchen so that it functions more like your dad's, because that was an amazing setup. I'd definitely like to do that at some point.
Very nice.
So yeah, that was a fun experience, and he'd been cooking for hours to get stuff ready for us, and had some amazing fall off the bone meats that were just fantastic. So from while we were on top of the mesa, before we stopped in Urubisi for the night, we went through wine country, and there's some
São Joaquim.
fantastic wineries in São Joaquim.
Mm-hmm.
And so while we were there, we stopped at a couple places, just kind of looking around. Went into a wine shop, and we just kind of wanted to poke around, and they're like, "Hey, come on over here. We got a wine tasting." And pretty soon, it's one glass after, little tiny glasses after another, trying lots of different stuff. And we decided we needed to take a couple with us. Some fantastic wines, really good. It's in fact, that region has produced Brazil's best and have produced some 96, 97 pointers, which is really quality wine. So we enjoyed that.
That was fun.
Urubisi, we stayed in a chalet. That's a very German region. A lot of
Mhm.
German settlers.
Yes, sir.
That was fascinating.
That was fun.
It was really fascinating because we went from there and we drove on to São João Batista, which was where our appointment was yesterday, and wound up in Nova Trento, which is essentially
An Italian.
It's an Italian
yes.
community where a whole bunch of Italians, I don't know, 2 or 3 generations ago settled.
So we went.
You got
from
old
Europe.
Germans, you got old Italians, and maybe that's one of the shockers for me in as far as Brazil is concerned, because the population is high percentage European.
Mm-hmm.
That's been shocking. That was really a surprise. I think if you go to the north, you wind up with a lot more population that came from slave trade. But in the south, central and south Brazil, and I know into Chile and Argentina, the population is very, very much Caucasian,
Mm-hmm.
which totally surprised me. Wasn't what I was expecting. I was going to talk about a couple of the things that to me were kind of odd.
Hmm.
So the first time I got in the shower, I was looking for the hot water and there was none. And then I looked up and there's a little twisty thing on the shower head and an electric cord going out into the wall. And I went, huh. So the water gets heated, and this is, the first time I'm a little nervous because I know everywhere we've got here is 220. I'm like, who puts 220 in the shower, right? Well, they do everywhere in Brazil. Which, if you can't dance before, you will after. But seriously, all of the showers have on-demand water heaters built into the shower head. With a temperature, a thermostat control adjustment knob that sticks down for most of them from the shower head, and I found that to be very interesting. That's very different than what we would see in the U.S. and probably somebody in one lawsuit would kill the whole idea, right? U.S. is so restricted by stupid lawsuits.
Yeah.
Another thing that I have really enjoyed here is that a large part of the construction. Now, this particular Airbnb that we're in is wood construction.
Mm-hmm.
I think almost entirely wood. But most of the construction, when you get out and about, and even around here, if it's not so hard to get up to, as this is 40 flights of stairs coming up the side of the mountain for an incredible view. But most of the construction is cement floors, cement
Bricks.
columns with brick filling in the gaps, and then everything stuccoed over, and then tile floors, tiled walls. Beautiful, simple, would last through a monster storm. And of course, you said no hurricanes down here.
Mm-hmm.
They do in the lowlands occasionally get floods, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
But the cattle land looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We saw some fat cows of Bashan.
Yeah, we actually drove through a town called Vacas Gordas, fat cows.
Yes.
That was the name of the town, and so that was that was interesting. Anything else? An amazing trip. I would highly recommend if you're looking for a great place to vacation and spend a couple days driving and seeing some amazing places and enjoying lots of different flora and fauna, because things changed up on the plateau and then they changed again when we got to São João Batista. They were starting to come back to kind of like the situ, but everywhere up on top of the mesa and up through the Serra region, a total different kinds of pine tree that you can harvest pine nuts from. And I'm not talking about the little tiny things you get at the grocery store. I'm talking these things. They're this big. They're as big as my pinky finger, and being able to, they get cooked in a pressure cooker.
Yes.
A lot like boiled peanuts. Slightly different flavor, similar consistency, huge, and you just sit around and eat them.
We can put a picture in here.
Yeah, we can do that too. So that was a blast. And then I guess of course we talk about marriage. We talk about biblical marriage. We talk about polygyny a lot on my channel. And so in terms of traveling, I love traveling with these ladies. We have a great time. We have a lot of fun. Most of the time, I guess I did a lot of driving. And the ladies took turns in the front seat. A couple times Lily drove first day, and then she drove some today. And then I was riding shotgun the back seat. Our car was supposed to be room for several adults and 4 or 5 bags, big bags. It was over advertised. It's been a fantastic little car, but we were packed tight. The back seat was limited movement, right? But we have a great time traveling together, have a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun walking everywhere, hanging out together, and holding hands and watching people's expressions.
With your heifers.
Yeah, I'm not wearing my I'm hanging with my heifers t-shirt right now, but I love it, and it's hilarious because you see people's minds trying to do the mental gymnastics to figure out what they're looking at or what they're seeing. We've had some fun conversations too.
Yes, sir.
Couple people.
Numerous times, Lily was asked if we were her parents.
Yeah, that was.
I think it was their way to try to explain, because they couldn't, and they were like, so they would either ask if he was my father, and or if Kelly was his sister. that was their way to
That was the
explain
first
things.
Airbnb. She was just like very confused.
She was trying to work it out without directly asking anything, and we never really directly answered the question in her case, because she's close friends with Lily's mother. But Lily's mom knows, and I'm sure that conversation is going to be really interesting after
Yes.
they get back together and communicate.
But two stores asked, well, were you your parents? The winery was one of them. And then there was another store that asked that as well. And I'm like, the age difference here. I mean, it's just absolutely absurd on how the heck
you
can we
got
be
started early.
Yeah. Real early.
So it's been fun. That's been a lot of fun.
The winery was actually the funnest because she interacted
Yeah.
with us, and so it was very fun. Because he was like 2 husbands, and we were like no, and she goes no. She
said I can have 2 husbands. I said, oh no, you can't. That's not possible. And she's like, well, I'm the head of my house. And I said, no, you aren't.
We walked out of the winery.
You may think you are, but you're
all
not.
All 3 of us going, no.
Nope. It was a fun conversation. That was a blast.
Really was.
She walked us all the way to the car and gave us hugs, and she had a fun time. I'm sure she was telling stories. She's probably still telling stories.
Yes.
But that was a good time. But life is good. Our channel, we talk a lot about polygyny, and I think right now for our Patreon, we're getting ready to do a video talking about the difference between hardwiring and programming in a woman. So we're going to do a video for our Patreon, because we spend time there coaching, helping others, just being a sounding board, because a lot of times people find themselves in a challenging situation, and then they try to figure out, well, what does Scripture say? And then they start figuring out Scripture doesn't say what the church says it says.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're looking for answers, and we're here to help with that. But have had a fantastic time here in Brazil. We've still got 3 days.
Yes, sir.
3 days. Fly out of here on Sunday, heading back to the U.S., back to summertime heat. And all of that.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, traveling is good. We love traveling, and if you're looking for a place to travel, if you're looking for some place that maybe is not a main place but an amazing place, come to Brazil. Particularly Florianopolis in the south is fantastic, and then from there, hitting some of the major cities in Santa Catarina, all the way through this state. But you got to make sure you get the drive up through Serra do Rastro.
Rio do
Rastro, right? And we'll show you a picture of that one, some pictures, and put all that stuff in here too. So,
Yes, sir.
all right, guys, fantastic. Good to just be able to share a little bit of what we've had going on here. It's been busy. I guess we didn't mention a whole lot what we did in São João Batista, but we are working on an import business. And being able to bring in shoes from that region from a fantastic shoe company, Rafaela Booz, and they've got beautiful stuff that we've started being able to bring to the U.S. and looking to expand or open a market for that. All leather women's shoes, amazing, beautiful product, and that was really probably one of the 2 main reasons for coming here. But if you're looking for, if you come to this region, there are a couple world famous shoe regions there in São João Batista. You've got famous wine region. You've got incredible beaches, incredible mountains. You really can get a lot in a 2-week vacation here, no doubt. All right, for King of Kingdom, we bid you shalom. Bye.